It's Tim Albright with AVNation, with an AVNation special celebrating International Women's Day, International Women's Month. And with me is a young lady I met about a year or so ago, Haley Touhy from Sennheiser. Welcome, ma'am.
Hi, Tim. Thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. Thank you. You and I are both from the States, but we met each other in Germany. So, there's that. I was visiting Sennheiser headquarters there, and Haley was there as well. So we got to hang out in beautiful Sennheiser headquarters. You've been in the industry, not as long as some of our interviews, but you've still been in the industry for a year or two. So overarching question here is how did you get involved in AV?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I think like with a lot of people, it's kind of been a bit of a twisty, turny path. So, back when I was in high school, I am 25 years old. So, I was playing drums, all the time. That was the only thing that I enjoyed doing. But I knew that wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to pursue as a career full time. So when I was looking at, do I want to go to college? Like, what do I want to be when I grow up? I found a university in upstate New York that offered a program not just in music business, but in audio production. And I'm like, that's what I want to be when I grow up. Like, never taken an audio class in my life, but I'm gonna work in a studio. Like, boom, that's it. And I'm lucky because although I didn't take that path necessarily, taking those audio courses, I kind of found my way into like I really love audio. Like this is my passion. I love it. Um, and right out of school, I had this job opportunity to work for a company called Wave Distribution.
Yep.
And basically they're a distributor for boutique audio, audio companies. And I also worked for, at the same time, one of their lines directly called Empirical Labs. I kind of found my love for manufacturing there. With those jobs, I was helping set up for our trade shows. I was doing demos. I was also running our social media pages. I was wearing like a million different hats. I was sweeping the floors, and it was just so great for me. And one day, I'm a member of Sound Girls, which is a nonprofit for women and non-binary people in audio. The founder, Carrie Keys, introduced me to Dawn Burr at Sennheiser and Neumann. And Dawn really took some time to kind of mentor me and get to know me. And one day she said, there's a sales position opening at Sennheiser. And I'm like, cool, would love to work at Sennheiser, but I'm definitely not a salesperson. Like, that's not me. But then I was like, maybe I should just look into this, right? Like maybe I could do sales. I ended up realizing really quickly, like, okay, I like audio. And guess what? I actually can do sales. That's like totally up my alley because I love the tech part of what I do, but I love the communication part, honestly, just as much. So I applied for the role. I was really lucky. I got an offer, I accepted. And I started as a sales associate. That was 3.5 years ago. I was 22. And I actually had a focus on live sound and production, along with music retailers. I eventually became a sales manager, and that's when I started to call on integrators and consultants in New Jersey and in Eastern Pennsylvania. And that's when I was like, wait, AV is really cool. Like I could do this. So when we started a division at Sennheiser that is devoted to AV called Business Communications, that's the division that I'm in, I applied and I got a national role at Sennheiser in our Business Communications division. So that's kind of my like twisty, turny path as to how I got here.
It actually, and I hope you take this as a compliment. It's actually one of the more direct paths actually than some people that I know, because
Yeah,
a lot of times you'll hear the comment, "Oh, I just fell into AV," right?
Right.
You almost from college on was like that was, and granted you were focused more on the production side and the engineering side and kind of found your way, but your first job out of college, I would argue, was in AV, and that's unique, I think, not just for women, just for people in the industry in general.
Awesome. Well, that's very validating to hear. Thank you. Yeah. Every year I kind of realize something new. But it has been a really fun journey and career so far, I have to say.
Yeah. And I love Dawn. I've met her a number of times over the years. She's fantastic. And
Yeah,
Sound
she's the
Girls,
best.
if you folks are not familiar with it, you do need to support that and join soundgirls.org. They have a
Yeah.
fantastic podcast, just for the record. But they're just a great organization.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Um, so you've been. I mentioned the fact you've been in. You mentioned the fact that you've been in AV basically since college. What are some of the challenges that you've faced throughout through your career, and some of the different areas you've been in?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love this question. Um, so I would say the biggest challenge that I've had to overcome is, and I think a lot of people deal with this, is imposter syndrome.
Hmm?
Since I started, as drummer when I was, just a kid, I always kind of felt like I don't know if I belong. I don't know if I should do this. I feel a little out of place. Um, and I felt that in college too. When I took that first audio class, believe it or not, I was really shy in college. Like, I was really, really shy, and I just like would sit in the corner. I don't even think people knew I was so interested, and I just kind of felt like I didn't belong. And just like a quick privilege check here. Um, I'm female, but I'm white and I'm cisgender, so there's still a lot going for me in that
Hmm?
way too. But I've just felt a lot of kind of feelings of like maybe I don't belong here. And the things that have helped me kind of get over those feelings, there's a few things. One is finding mentors. I'm still at a stage in my life where mentorship is like really important for me, finding mentors that have a similar lens to myself, but then also finding allies. There's a ton of amazing allies in this industry. And then also finding mentors who do face some oppression, but maybe in a different way, regarding race or with their sexuality. So that's one thing that's helped me. Another thing that has helped me a lot to overcome that imposter syndrome is becoming like a member of AVIXA's Women's
Yeah.
Council, and going to, now virtually our local New York events. And then I would say, honestly, the thing that has been the biggest groundbreaking moment for me is realizing that so many people have worked to pave this path for me. I have to continue paving that path for, um, you know, members of the BIPOC community, LGBT members, and women in this industry so they can join this industry. Had a conversation once with a young lady in her teen years, and she was interested in doing something similar to what I do. And that was the moment where I'm like, she should never feel imposter syndrome because she was kind of expressing like some nervous feelings. So that's kind of like that moment where I'm like, wait, but maybe I shouldn't either. Like I don't want her to feel it and I shouldn't. So all of those things have kind of helped me. It's a great community, I have to say. So there's a lot of support.
Isn't it amazing how you mentioned mentorship? Mentorship, I've found, when we're mentoring others, a lot of times it helps us see ourselves and heal ourselves, or
Yes,
correct some things in ourselves, because we see that in others and we're like, oh wait,
exactly.
just like you said with the imposter syndrome, wait a minute, I do that, right? Or I'm doing
Yeah,
that, or I've done that, right? It's fantastic. And I love the fact that even at being in your 20s, you're already mentoring, and that's incredible. I think that's something
thank
to be
you.
commended. Um, you are not near retirement by any stretch of the
Exactly.
imagination. Um, we interviewed Althea Ricketts from Shure, and she's closer to retirement than I am. So we've done the gamut here.
She's
Um,
amazing.
she is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Just and if you not, this is a shameless plug. Go watch that one too after you're done watching this
Oh,
one.
of course. I've been watching
Um,
them. Yeah, these have been great.
you talk for a second about what you want to see change in the industry and how you want to change it when you do retire.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would like to see, as supportive as this industry is, I would love to see more diversity and beyond just gender. I don't want diversity to be me, Haley, white lady, cisgender, all that. I want there to be a lot of diversity because this industry is great, right? It's cutting edge, it's fast paced, it's technical. There's a social component to it if you want there to be.
If you want.
Um, but what comes from diversity is even better technology and even things moving at a faster pace and better conversations. So I would like to see all of the beautiful things that come from diversity happening in this industry. And the first place to start is getting more diverse people. How can I directly affect that? I think by trying to more actively, I'm trying to do more outreach with the college and the university that I went to, trying to more actively kind of like recruit people to join AV. I think a lot of people in college, they don't realize that AV is an opportunity and a whole entire career field that's worth pursuing. And I also think it's on employers to do programs internally and to seek diverse candidates. Um, so I don't know if that answers that question, but
No.
I'm really looking to, see how the industry is just benefits from diversity.
You hit on something here, and I don't think that I've ever realized it or had someone say it just quite that way. The more diversity, the more voices, the more perspectives is going to add to our creativity, is going to add to our, development of technology faster and better.
Absolutely.
Just pull on that string for a second, because that absolutely is fascinating. It's a perspective I don't think I've ever heard before, because you're right. The more voices, the more perspectives we get, the more creative our products can be, and our solutions can be.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very interested in at Sennheiser, in our future product line and getting involved with that as much as I possibly can and getting my customers' feedback and their customers' feedback, because my customers are integrators, and getting
Yeah.
consultants' feedback. And just from the diversity of just that in itself, we make better products as a company. And this is something that this isn't new for Sennheiser. We've been doing this. But the more minds that you can get together when you develop products, the better that our products become, because they serve the end customer, which is the most important customer, the ones using our products, better. So when we have a bunch of different, creative people coming together with ideas and different walks of life, we reach more people. And that's like a very direct thing, but indirectly that gets more people interested in just tech itself, and then creates more diverse people joining the industry. And it's kind of just like this cycle of just awesomeness. So I don't know if that answers that, but yeah, I think the more perspectives we have, the better our tech gets.
I like that. That's a good place to end. Haley, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Somebody wants to connect with you or Sennheiser, how do they do that?
I just got a AV Twitter.
She
So
did, and she's fantastic at it, just for the record.
thank you so
Already,
much.
yeah, not just on a personal level, but also, talking about, recruiting and connecting with the industry. So sorry, that was my own plug for you, because you're
Thank
doing
you.
fantastic at it.
That means so much, because I've just had it for a week and the support has been overwhelming. So my Twitter is at Haley Touhy. So it's HALEY TUOHY. It's a very difficult name to spell. Um, and you can also add me on LinkedIn. So it's the same thing. It's HALEY TUOHY. Only person on LinkedIn with that name as of right now, spelled that way. And then same with Sennheiser. You can visit our website at Sennheiser.com. You can go to LinkedIn and just type Sennheiser, and you'll see our information there.
All right, very cool. Haley Touhy, thank you so much. For us, for AVNation, go by our website, AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. And find other incredible women in the AV industry all month of March. All that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.